Yeah, we are live. We are live. We are going online. Yes, Buttons and I are back and we're talking about team building again. Like every Thursday, we hear Buttons is coming in from Namibia, which is amazing. So I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm Veronica Jeans, e-commerce queen. And Buttons Heyns is from Namibia, Africa, and he is the team building emperor. So, Buttons, we're going to talk about team building and and how you can create an amazing team within your business, right? So, let's talk about
Yes.
yes. You tell me.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Veronica. Welcome. Thank you for having me. Yeah, we're talking about prerequisites for building a strong and cohesive team, and what's important and what do we have to do and what are the characteristics of that. So, effective team performance obviously is important to have a clear understanding of shared goals
Yes.
as well as individual responsibilities of all those people in the team. So also trust, communication, and accountability is important. So if you have those combined roles, then that is where team building can also play an important role in making your team a more cohesive team.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. Yes. So today we're going to talk
so
about characteristics of an effective team, right?
yeah, so we will also say we're also asking the question: are people giving enough thought about team building, and can team building help them to make a cohesive team, or is it just conferencing that you have to do all the time, or just dishing out orders or delegating all the time? So this is where I think team building has a very, very important role to play with team. Whether doesn't matter what types of teams we get. I mean, an organization can be a team. A department in an organization of company can be a
Team.
team. Then
Yeah.
you have a social club can be a team, or obviously then in sport we work a lot in sport. So in sport, there you have the team sports, and that's where we focus on as well.
Yes.
So
So Buttons.
what I
So
want to do
I have
is,
one question. So your experience in team building is with sports and with companies, right?
of course,
With
yes,
both. Yes.
it's with both of them, but you can use metaphors or you can use examples where you do a specific activity and then relate that back to the essence that it will have, or an example that it will show in a company itself.
Okay. So so what is a team? You tell me what's a team. So I
And a
understand.
team is a team is a group of people that have a common goal, that share accountability, and that has a vision. So, and they have to work together. That's a team. So, two or more people can be a team. So today, I want to take the sport of tug of war
But
and
you're an
explain to
expert,
you
right?
how
You're an expert in tug of war.
I used to be. Yes, but I don't practice it anymore. I just coach it at the moment. Yeah. So, but it's also a wonderful example how you can take a team of 8 people. Normally, it has to be 8 people. They have to have a certain weight. You get different weight categories. Um, so 8 people must weigh a specific weight, not more, but they can weigh less. So let's, for instance, say now today we have a team here in Namibia, and we are preparing a club team, and we are preparing now to become the Namibian championships, of the Namibian champions. So get the people together, um, and obviously you have to explain to them that your vision is to become the national champion,
Yeah. And they have to
and
buy into the vision, right?
everybody has to buy
Yes.
into this vision because they have to believe it. They have to believe in the purpose
Yes.
and what they're going to aim for. And
Yes.
then obviously you have to have a, and that's you have to have a shared commitment. So the thing with tug of war is, same as in a company, you've got these 8 people that you've thrown together and they have to work together now, and each has a specific role. But for tug of war, for instance, you have to make a commitment on your weight. So that's a commitment that you are giving your team.
Wow.
And you are telling each of those members in the team that you have to lose 1 kilo, 3 kilos, 5 kilos, 10 kilos by a certain time.
Wow.
So that everybody can.
Do they all have the same weight?
No, they don't have all the same weight.
No.
But 8 people combined have a specific weight. So you've got bigger ones, smaller ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So then they have to sit together after you've explained the vision, and they all have this commitment that they will get to their target weight at a specific time. So there's your shared commitment, and it's the same in a company. Then, because there's 8 people in a team, from a number 1 to a number 8, behind each other, they each have a specific role to play. And when you get a team together, they will start moaning and groaning and saying that I'm doing more than that guy.
Yes, absolutely.
Everything goes well. Yeah, if everything goes well, there won't be a moaning system. But if everything doesn't go well, they will start complaining.
Yeah.
So I found it very easy also when we do it with companies to put the team down there and have them in a specific position.
Yes.
Then do a few pulls and then change them so that they experience each position.
That's a very good, and you can do that. You can do that in a company as well. It's very essential, I think, to realize what the other guy is doing. Yes.
So experience each position, but obviously they will not do that specific task all the time. But they then know what the commitment needs to be done from that specific role. What is the specific role that person has to play, and then there'll be a better understanding. So there will also be, let's say, a better understanding for the vision. So then you get to the specific roles. Now you've chosen these people to do the tug of war, and you have placed them now in that specific position. And you explain to them what is your specific role as a number 1, or a number 2, or a number 3, up to number 8.
Yes.
And we won't go into the depth of that, but normally a number 1 has to measure the team in front of him, see when they are going to pull, to give the message to your people at the back. The middle people are normally the guys that have to manage the height of the rope, and the top, the few guys at the back, they are normally the bigger and stronger ones. They have to put in all the effort when the time is right for them now to put pressure on.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So, and whilst you are now practicing, initially there won't be trust. So trust is another factor. Now, when the team is still unfit, or let's say not so clear of each other, and they're young in the company, let's call it that fit. If they're not so fit, then you will easily start moaning again if everything is not going well.
They always do that. Yes.
The fitter you get, the more experience you get.
Yes.
The more you work as a cohesive team, you will build up trust. And you will know that, for instance, those guys in front of you or at the back of you will be able to last a specific period of time on the rope without making a mistake, or without slipping your hands, or without falling.
Yes.
So you build up that trust factor amongst the team.
Yes.
Then what's important also is to, as you go through this process of training, you must celebrate the
wins,
team and
the wins,
individual successes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Always celebrate the wins, the little wins, right? Just the little wins.
Yeah. The small ones, because in the beginning it will be difficult, but you must just set it out that you've got realistic goals to set, and that they reach it by by a specific time.
Yes.
So at some stage, after month 1 or 2, you will go back to the team and say, okay, we will weigh you again now, physically weigh you, but it also, and see, did you reach your specific goal that you had to be?
Yeah.
And if you don't, you have to give the reasons why not. And then we give you another chance to say, okay, but we have to put in the effort. Then
Yes.
it might happen that the team will start supporting you to get your mind right to reach that specific weight goal.
Yes.
As you obviously also get fitter, you will start celebrating that you can last on the rope for 30 seconds. It doesn't sound a lot, but if you start, it's a lot of time. It's a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
And
especially
later on,
if you're putting that effort in, right? When you're pulling.
yes, and
Yes.
also later on 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and eventually you will be able to hang on that rope whilst you're actually putting out pressure for 20 or 30 minutes without getting tired and without making a mistake. And that's so. But in the process, somebody might get injured or they're
Yes.
not on top of their game.
Yes.
And you must show concern. That's another point of characteristic. Show concern for your team member or your company or your,
Be
your
interested.
team
Yeah.
in your company.
Be interested,
Yes.
right? Be involved. Be involved with each other. I find that really creates a better team when you're involved with each other, and instead of being moan.
Yeah, so whilst by being concerned not only for yourself but also for your team member
Yeah.
and eventually for the whole group, the success rate will obviously increase.
Yes.
Because you've got that clear common vision and goal that you are building
Yes.
towards.
Yes.
And also, yeah, it's important to also every now and then go back to what was your goal, what was your
Yes.
vision,
Repeat
what's your
it.
vision,
Repeat
actually,
it.
what was your
Yes.
goals,
Yes.
have you
Yeah.
reached your goal, so
Yeah.
you can follow that on specific milestones that you've reached.
Yeah.
And this is how you build up the whole team.
I find that
Now-
that a lot of times is companies don't repeat their visions and their goals to the team or to their employees, and everybody gets discouraged, and that's when the problems start, because the attention span and the attention that they're giving to the company disappears. So having that vision in front of your team members is super important. I mean, if you're in an office, you can easily put it on the wall where everybody sees it every day, right? I mean, this is what I recommend to my clients: is put your vision and your goals somewhere where you can see it, so it's there in front of your face. So what do you do with the team?
Yeah, obviously that's the same thing, because you have to every now and then reinforce your vision.
Yes.
And tell them again what it is.
Yes.
So what are we actually training for? We are training to become the champion of the country.
Yes.
Have we reached our specific goals that we've set out for ourselves? Yes, we have. So that's something that you can tick off.
Yes.
Are we all accountable for reaching that? Yes, we are. Are we all getting a little bit fitter every week? Yes, we are.
Yes.
Are we all attending all the practices? Yes, we are. So if somebody doesn't do that, then you can talk to that person or get a group session now. So it's also important that the decision-making process is inclusive.
Yes.
And they all agree to where we're going.
Yes.
But it's also important to remember not to make that too inclusive, because then the decision-making might be taking too long.
Yes,
But
because
you have to have a
everybody has an opinion, right?
Everybody has an
how
opinion,
to steer the boat. Yes, there's only one captain.
Yes, there's one captain, but now the coxswain or the cleaner on the deck can't actually come and tell the captain, I'm going to take over
I'm the sub-captain.
the helm now.
I'm the sub-captain.
Yes. So they understand their responsibilities, they understand their roles, and they've got inclusive decision making up to a point.
Yes.
But if the vision is clear, the goals are clear, and they're reaching that, the process will follow. So there's a specific task, but there's also a process.
Yes.
So the more gelled the team are,
Yes.
the easier the process will flow. Then also, obviously, there will be challenges all the time,
Yes.
but I think if you have an inclusive decision-making process and everybody's accountable, the challenges can be overcome, and the challenges can be overcome by being creative and
Yes.
getting everybody's ideas of how to overcome this specific problem. And that can be, for instance, in sport, also in business, by analyzing your team and spending time to see, do they have weak points, what are their strong points, so that you can see how this obstacle that you have now identified can actually go into a process of where you're going to overcome this and putting a positive result out there.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. So I mean,
Yeah.
yes. Tell me. I've got lots of
Yeah,
opinions.
and the
But
last one, yeah, I think the last one would be to have regular meetings and regular feedback from you as the team captain or coach, or you as a member of the team, and also get their feedback from the team. What do they think? What is the progress? Give them a progress report. How do they feel about that? And that's all about being inclusive as well. So if you can basically follow those characteristics, and I'm quickly just going to mention them again, not necessarily uh, every time in the right order, but obviously, first of all, to have a clear vision. Secondly, to have a shared commitment, because that is what a team is. Then clear roles in that specific team. Then obviously trust, accountability, mutual accountability. Celebrate team success and individual successes. Concern for the group, task, and the process. Inclusive decision making. Address challenges with creativity, and regular communication and feedback.
yeah.
So I think that is basically the most important characteristics of a team, whether it's a sport team, a company,
Yes.
or an organization.
Yes.
And that is why I think when we also do team building, we use the sport of tug of war to actually demonstrate it, and it's quite amazing how it actually shows out these different characteristics.
I find that there has to also be, as you said, in the team of tug of war, you have 8 team members. So every team needs to know their role, clear roles. You did say clear roles, yes. So also you need to, in a company, you need to know the organizational structure. So if you have a complaint, you know where to go to. Don't buck the system and go somewhere else, because that causes problems. So I see that with some of my clients where people tend to go, well, you're not the boss of me. I'll go somewhere else, and it does cause problems because people are unhappy because you are usurping their role in the whole structure. So you've got to be cognizant and aware of what your team member is supposed to be doing, so you don't take over the role, right?
Yes, and with tug of war, for instance, this shows it out very very quickly and clearly, because it's such a great sport in the sense of there has to be cohesiveness, there has to be
very very
teamwork,
cohesive. Yes,
and there has to be a fitness level that's on par. I would actually compare the only other sport that will have such a wonderful team effort, togetherness would be say 8-man rowing.
Yes.
And that
yes.
Yeah. So if there's not a total cohesion and effort and understanding, then it's going to be very difficult to win with that specific team.
Yeah.
So I think the practical ideas that you can use sport to demonstrate the importance of these characteristics in a company is relevant, and we are using it every so often in team buildings for companies.
Oh, I think that's absolutely right. I will post this on our description as well, so people have a whole clear vision of what we were talking about. And I don't actually have any questions because you actually laid it out very, very clearly of what we're supposed to be doing or not doing when we are team building, which I think it's hugely important. I've seen so many companies go under if there's not a clear vision and structure of the team, because not everybody's pulling in the right direction. If you have everybody pulling in different directions, excuse the pun, right? That team's never going to pull the other team across the way. So you got to be pulling in the right direction. I love that you're using tug of war. Why is it called tug of war?
Yeah, because it's actually two teams that want to win this war,
Tug of war.
against each other. Yeah. But it actually started many years ago, before Christ, actually in Egypt, and not with
The British.
not with the Danes or with the Vikings. But yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's
So
interesting.
that is what. Yeah. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you very much. I hope this was
Yes.
some insightful information that one can use as sport also to demonstrate the characteristics of a company.
Yes, absolutely loved it. Thank you very much for popping in again. And we will be back next Thursday talking more about team building, getting more involved in maybe some action steps of how to put it all together. Or what are we going to talk about, Buttons?
Yeah, I think next week we're talking about communication.
Oh, brilliant.
In a team.
Yes.
What's the importance of that?
Okay, cool. Fabulous. Okay, bye guys. We'll see you later. We will be posting some more information on our descriptions up top. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments, or you can contact us, either both of us or separately, and we'll get back to you. Bye.